Welcome back to Horse Racing Today for terrific Terry Thursday in the Big Apple. Aqueduct coming off of okay day yesterday. Just a couple trifectas. What happened?
You freezing?
I'm freezing.
Yeah.
Hopefully it stops. My internet signal looks pretty good up on the screen. So
Yeah.
hopefully yesterday played a little bit of those trifectas. A couple nice ones yesterday. If the 7 had come home early, that would have been a pretty decent run. The early pick 4. So plenty of good things to pick off of from yesterday's card at Churchill Downs. Let's see if we can do something similar today at Aqueduct. My internet signal is on the low side, unfortunately, at the moment. Before we get started, today's free track is Mahoning Valley in Ohio. There's a link in the description down below. You can use that. You'll see Incessant in the first race is a best bet at 7-2. So not a cheapie. Hopefully it can come across the finish line first. Hey, Tafum. Good morning. How are you? Welcome. We're doing great today. We love you very much as well, as much as we love all of the folks in apparently one of our favorite places, Turkey. All right, Terry, let's get cracking with race number 1 today at Aqueduct.
6 furlongs, maiden claiming race, $30,000 claiming price, purse $40,000 for maidens 2-year-olds.
Yes, and to win at 6 furlongs, you need early speed. 35% of the time, the horse with the most early speed wins wire to wire. Post positions, you get a better opportunity to win if you're outside than you do inside in the rail for valid connection. Pretty hard place to be. We run 1,000 simulations here, Mr. Terry, to see who has the best chance to get to the lead. Based upon our early projections, we match today's expected pace with the horse's best performances and see how those races overlap. C-zone score of 50% or better is preferred. Over here on the Q30 score, anything with a score of 30% or more warrants your attention. Par plus in our 1,000 simulations, how many times a horse ran a speed figure equal to or above the Brisnet par speed figure, in this case, 75. Finally, we like to buy things that are on sale, so we want our post-time odds to be higher than our simulation odds. Terry, looks like it should be a pretty good start today.
Yeah, it's very wide open in this first race as far as the speed goes. The 2, 6, 9, and 3 show the best speed. 1 has an overlay from 8-1 to 15-1. 5 has an overlay from 11-1 to 12-1. The 8 has an overlay from about 4-1 to 8-1. All but the 2 and 4 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones, the best one being number 2. And the 6 has a really nice Q30.
Indeed. So we look at that 50%. Anything over 30, apparently you could bet that according to James Quinn and get a positive ROI. Along with our simulations, we do trip handicapping. Well, you can see here NC, everybody in that NC column. So nobody's been anywhere near the finish line so far, all within 5 lengths, not within 5 lengths of the winner. So get out to the front. You probably got a great chance. Papa Paulie P. For those people who like to pop their P's on the microphone and like alliterations, there you go. That one might have the best chance to get to the front. The end of the race, stamina goes to Bernie, goes boom. That one's about a length and a half quicker than everybody else, about a length. Every 5 points equals 1 length. Our top total pace horses, Terry, about 72, 73% of the time, the winner comes from the top 4. There you go, the 3, the 5, the 7, and the 8. Which one of those are in your picks?
I start with the 3, Taprit's Temper. He drops the class today. Best start speed is fastest among today's stars. Has a high percentage winning jockey. 9, Well Suited, second choice. Drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 30% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden to a maiden claiming race. Then I like the 7 as my third choice. He has a high percentage winning trainer and a good workout on November 10th. And then the 2 is my long shot, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 32% of the horses in a horse's second career race. No bets for me in this race.
I'm going to start off with the 7 horse. Vamanos Vamano. Yes, be fast or something along those lines. It's a maiden special weight dropper. That's a positive. The debut was the best race for this horse. And then it's gone to the sidelines. Maybe one of those horses that runs best when it comes off the sidelines fresh. Tap Ritz Temper, only horse that does have a par race on its resume so far. Thunder Princess is another maiden special weight dropper here and has shown some early speed. And then the 6 horse is that 50% Q30 horse right there. Showed some early speed in his debut. A couple of workouts between races, should be more fit. And those workouts were the best of any maintenance workouts. I'm going to do a 50-cent trifecta, 3, 6, 7, 8, and then $4 to win on the 7 because we have a $100 budget. And when I went through my bets, that's all I had left at this point. So that's why I put it on there. Not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to that. Right now, the 7 horse is your 7-2 favorite. Next up is the 9 horse at 3-1. So the 7 horse, well, where are we looking at? Where are we going to find some value at, Terry? Well, that 1 horse Valid Connection, we have odds at 8-1.
Yeah.
It's 44-1. So maybe put that one in exactas and trifectas. If it comes home, it's going to fatten up those payouts no matter what.
That's right.
The 7 horse, that's really the best value there in the entire race, it looks like.
Yeah.
Maybe the 8 horse too, we have at 7-2.
Yeah.
That one's 13-1. Yeah.
Yep.
Put the 1 and 8 together, and if they come home in some order, you're going to be skipping all the way to the bank.
Be really happy, won't you?
Where else can you make about 400% on your money in about a minute and a half?
That's right.
So it looks like they're just waiting on the 9 horse to load. And then we'll be set to go in the opener. 9 horse, okay, paused a little bit, going in without much of a protest. They're all in, just waiting for the buzzer to start. Well, forget the 1 horse. That one just about went to its knees. The 4 horse, looks like the 6 horse, Terry has jettisoned to the lead. And then you have the 2 horse. In between horses, you have the 3. Boy, there's a lot of horses just really trying to giddy up and go. So perhaps they feel like the track favors some speed today. You have the 6, then the 3, then the 4, then the 2, my 7, the gray, running in about 5th, but only about a length and a half off the lead. The 6 horse at 7-1 continues to set the tone early on. Right behind it is the 3 horse. Behind that one is is that the 4? I don't know. I think I don't know about how these people go about with these things where they put in who's where, Terry. You know what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
Because they're never right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right now it looks like this is a race between it looks like the 3 horse probably going to get the W in here. Then the 6 is going to finish, it looks like, 3rd. But is that the 8 horse or the 7 horse? I'm not sure. I think it's going to go 3, and then the 7, then the 6, and then I think the 5. So 3, 7, 6, and your top pick wins. I had the exacta in there. And then also my trifecta hit. So hopefully that 6 horse can fatten out that a little bit. And
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's 3 trifectas in a row. So I'm happy about that. They're almost as hard to hit as you are your pick 4s and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go on to race number. I should have put 2 to win in place on the 7, but what are you going to do? All right, race number 2. I only have $4 left, and I'm not going to split it between win and place and only $4. It's just not my style. All right, Terry, what do we got in race number 2?
It's a mile race. It's an allowance race, $50,000. It's a $65,000 purse for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $50,000 or less, or which have never won a race other than a maiden or a claiming.
So for a mile, I think there's a few of these today. Early speed does great. It's a 1-turn mile. That's an important designation because a lot of times these 1-turn miles, if you watch the show before, we talk about how they act a little bit more like a sprint than they do a route. So it could give early speed a little bit more of an edge. And in this case, it does, with 31% of your winners going wire to wire. The post positions are mostly fair, no deal makers or deal breakers, but you do get a little bit of a discount if you wear a 2, a 3, or anything at 8 or higher. So once again, Terry, we might find that early speed plays a factor in race number 2. And looks like the 5 horse might be just a touch quicker than a couple of others. It
is, although I think that 8 might have something to say about it. So it could be a head-to-head to that quarter pole. And the 1 shows an overlay of 5-2 to 10-1. All but the 2 and 4 show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Yes, indeed. It looks like a pretty interesting race. You got 3 of them here with really strong C zones, the 1, the 2, and the 5 again, looking for over 50%. Look at the 7 horse, almost a 50% chance to run a race that is at par or better. This race, a whole little different view of what the race shape might look like. Got a couple that want to be up on the front, most of them middle back. I should favor early speed, just like the bias suggests. Enigmatic, that is your quickest horse, a little bit quicker than La Vista Sofia, Roman Goddess. It is the inside of those 3 horses. A little bit of a drop off then to the rail horse, Bobby Jean, as they turn and come for home. Backstretch Rose. One has a pretty good late pace advantage over Duck Fat, and then pretty good drop off from there. Your top total pace horse in here, Terry, is Roman Goddess. That one is 5 points better than the next closest one, usually enough for the Lone P to come home in your exactas, trifectas, maybe even as a winner. Who do you like?
I like in this race the 7 Backstretch Rose. She finished 3rd in her last race. She has the highest last speed rating, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. The 5 Enigmatic is the second choice. She is 1 for 1 at Aqueduct, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey and a good workout on November 7th. The 3 is my third choice. She won her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Bobby Jean, the 1, is my long shot. Finished 3rd in her last race. She has a highest speed favorite at today's distance. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a good 4 furlong workout on November 5th. I'm going to play a $1 box, exacta box 1, 3, 5, and 7. And I'm going to play the 50-cent pick 4, first one, 1, 3, 5, 7 with the 7, 8, with the 3, 4, 5, with the 1, 2, 7, 8.
All right. I'm going to start off with the 5 horse in race number 2. That one's Enigmatic. Enigmatic gets the top call for me because ran once at Aqueduct and it won by 9 3/4 length. So maybe a budding horse for the course. Does have that early speed. And Irad is riding. So if Irad has the lead going into that turn, you know that horse will get as wide as the gate. It'll go from rail to rail in terms of its blocking ability. Number 7, Backstretch Rose, the second pick for me, your top pick, Terry, is a closer. Maybe not the right style, but it's been solid at Aqueduct. 4 times out, a 2nd and 3/3. So nothing in the winner's circle yet at Aqueduct. But in the money, 6 out of 7 races at the distance. I think that's a good one to put in your picks for sure to hit the board. Number 8, Roman Goddess, my third choice. That's your top total pace horse, as we saw, 5 points better than everybody else. And then if you look at the in the money, 11 out of 13 at Aqueduct. So another good bet to finish in the exacta or trifecta. And then finally, then one horse, like you, Terry, I put that one at the back of the pack. It is a tough call for me over your 3 horse, but this one does have a little bit more back class and, according to our simulation, better odds and higher odds. So that's why I went with that one. 1, 5, 7, 8 with the 2, 4, 7 with the 3, 5, the 1, 2, 7, and 12. That's my Don Johnson pick 4. And just to kind of rewind back to race number 1 real quick, that 3, 6, 7, 8 trifecta box. The 376 ended up paying for 50 cents, $76.87. So nice. 75% of my budget back already.
Nice.
On to I'll take it. And yesterday, I think my $100 turned into $340. So
it's good.
That's always a plus when you have a positive ROI. What's on tap for race number 3?
Okay, in race number 3, we're going to go to a mile. And it's an allowance race, 16,000. It's purse 44,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of 16,000 or less in 2024.
Once again, we see the 1-turn mile. So we also found out in the previous start at a mile that you better be fast because about 3 out of 10, they win by winning the race to the quarter-mile marker. It means they have a good shot to win the race to the finish line as well. Post positions are mostly fair, though you do got to work a little bit harder from a 2 or 3 position or 8 and out. Are there any really fast ones in race number 3?
Well, it looks like the 4 is pretty darn fast. It should get out of there and get to that quarter pole first. The 1 has an overlay of 2-1 to 4-1. The 4 has an overlay from about 4.5 to 1 to 12 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay from 8 to 1 to 12 to 1. All but the 3 and 6 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones, especially that 4 horse.
That 4 horse. We've seen this with a horse that has a great chance to get to the lead with that strong C zone. They get out there, they get confident, and sometimes they become so confident they don't give up the lead. The 4 horse is not even a speed horse. The 3 and 8 want to be on the front. Everybody else middle back. Does that 4 horse indeed have the speed to get to the front? Look at that, Terry. 10 points clear of everybody else.
Yep.
That is the definition of a left arrow horse, one that's usually middle back, but its routine early run puts it in contention right from the beginning. The end of the race, winning on weekends, is the quickest of the bunch, along with Skylander. Those two will be really roaring at the end of the race. They also qualify as our top 2 total pace horses. 7, 2, 4, and 5. Terry, those are the top 4. Usually the money comes from there, but you're starting somewhere else and making it one of your best bets of the day.
I am. It is my best bet at Parks today. It's the 8, Smile Mom, and he has won 2 races in a row and going for a hat trick now. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey winning on the weekends. The 7's my second choice, finished in the money in the last 5 races, winning 3 of the starts. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Skylander, the 2, is my third choice, won his last race at Aqueduct, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 22% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse. And the 5 is my long shot. He finished 3rd in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to bet 16 win, 26th place, number 8, $4 daily double, 8 with the 3, 4, 5, and 9, and a $10 exact to 8 on top with the 2, 5, 7 in second place.
All right. I'm going to start with the 7 horse in here, winning on the weekends. I like that one because it did run the top last race speed figure last time out. It was 9 points better than anybody else. Everyone else used to have to come up a lot, or that one has to come down a lot. And sometimes this horse, Terry, has just some absolutely blistering, like high stakes level late speed. Going to drop in class versus this bunch too. Number 4, for some reason, that's the one we talked about, that all that giddy up and go at the get-go, Mr. Terry. Maybe too much early speed for the rest of these. And the last time this horse ran anywhere near this level, smoked the field, winning with ease. Skylander, that's the 2 horse. It's also our simulation favorite, according to the sim that we do, the 1,000 of them. Very consistent performer, and last time out, its fractions were considerably quicker. Finally, your best bet, Smile Mon. This one crushed it 2 races in a row. I'm a little bit worried that maybe because of the really much faster fractions, that you might have a pair, what they call pairing peaks or peak pairing, whatever you want to call it. And that's a handicapping angle that sometimes you got to look out for. 2 peak races right there. You see 88, 81. And then when you see peak races like that, sometimes you have to be concerned. It doesn't mean always it's going to drop off the next race, but a drop off is definitely coming. We just don't know which one. And for me, I'm going to do a $10 double, 7 solo, 5 ice cold, and then $10 to win and place on the 7. Not really a battle of the best bets in here because I don't really do best bets. Race 4, Terry, that's what's in store now. So what's the deal here?
Okay, well, we're going to stretch out a little bit to 1 mile and 16th, and we're going to go on the turf for this one. It's a maiden race, $90,000 purse. It's on the outer turf for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, on that outer grass. When they get running, you want to find the winner's circle. Usually being in a good stalking position is the best way to get there. You got about 18%, so still a good number that get to the lead, are able to hold that lead all the way around the track. There is a rail bonus, and that's not going to be the 1 horse. It's going to be like the 2 horse, I think, in here, right? That's your rail horse. Exotic Cat. Yeah, at 50-1, though. I don't know that the rail bonus will really help that one out a lot. Inside is better than outside, Terry. So when you're doing your handicapping, if it's an inside horse versus an outside horse, maybe take the inside horse. As far as simulations are concerned, Terry, which one should we take if you want the early speed?
Well, the 7 shows the most speed, followed up by the 8 and the 1. And then, I'm sorry, the 8 and the 10. And then The one has an overlay from like 7-1, almost 8-1, 30-1. That's nice.
That'll
7
work.
has an overlay of 14-1 to 15-1, and the 8's overlay is 2-1 to 10-1.
Some
All
nice overlays in there.
Yeah, all but the 4 have par plus numbers. All of them, but the 2, 8, and 9 have C zones, and the 7 has a nice Q30.
That 8 horse with a good chance to be forward, a good Q30 score. Just looking at the colors and really we got really strong par plus, but those C zone numbers are a little on the light side. So this could be a scramble to figure out who's going to end up where. If you look at this, boy, you sure look at that and say, boy, the 3 and the 8, if they can get forward on easy fractions, everybody else wants to close or has not been within a handful of lengths of the winner at the finish line. If those 3 and the 8 horse can get out and do so comfortably, they got a good chance. Although that's 7 and 10, they might get out there and press that pace and maybe make those 2 work a little bit too hard. Pretty close, though, here. Plenty of them that'll be in the mix early. At the end, Steel Loot will be coming the hardest with Ikaila. Weighted averages, African Waters, they're much quicker than the rest of them down the stretch. Late speed belongs to African Waters. That one looks like it's going to get a good stalking trip. Nice late pace. A little bit better than Steel Loot. Runaway Lights. They got an extra one in here. So half of these horses in the top 4, Terry. This picture says wide open. All the simulations say wide open. Who do you think is going to win and why?
Well, I like the 4 weighted average as my top pick. Finished 3rd versus similar in her last start. She has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 29% of the races. The second time that he uses Lasix, and switches to high percentage winning jockey. Then I like Still Loot, number 5. She ran 2nd versus similar in her last race. It has the highest speed figure at today's distance and a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. 3 African Waters, my 3rd choice, finished 2nd in her last start, has a high percentage winning jockey. And then the 9 is my long shot. She finished in the money in 2 of her last 3 races and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. No additional bets for me here.
So I like the Steel Loot horse, the 5. It did run the top last race speed figure. That was 9 points better than anybody else. And once again, if you got that big of an edge, everybody else has to find more, or you got to have less this time around. And I think getting first-time Lasix for Steel Loot today means the others are going to have to come up in class because it probably does improve with the first-time Lasix. African Waters is that lone E-horse that we saw in the race setup. Could be dangerous if she can get forward. Yeah, some other horses might be a little bit quicker. But another thing that I like about this horse is the angle I've kind of come up with. I haven't found it anywhere else. It's what I call the finally healthy angle, Terry. You look at this horse's career, run, head to the bench, right? Run, head to the bench. Run, head to the bench. This is the first time for a 4-year-old, which is kind of unusual, for a horse that cost $1.2 million. Holy hell, Terry. It's a lot of money for this horse to be in this race. I didn't see that in the handicapping. This horse is finally healthy, and they must think this is a decent horse if they spent $1.2 million on it. That's a lot of money. That's in your rent district. Number 8, Mendy. Classic 3rd start after a layoff. All of the race internals were better. Should be forward, and look at that. Our simulation favorite. And then finally, weighted average, the 4 horse has shown the most late speed, and if you look at its late speed relative to everybody else, it's pretty much not close. If that one's anywhere near the leaders coming out of the turn, probably ends up at the top of the ticket, just like Terry says. Right, so we got some comments here, Terry, from Tafum. Hey, Tafum. Tafum can't be the only one with thoughts today, folks. So if you have some picks today, some questions, some thoughts, some suggestions, please let us know in the comment section. Another way you can help us out, Terry, is to do what?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that little bell so you're notified about all the programs we have coming up. They've got really nice ones, especially Friday. They have Foreign Fridays if you want to find out about foreign racing. And then go down and copy the link at the bottom and share that with all your friends, relatives, neighbors, because they can come and check this out too. Go to our social sites such as X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like. That really helps us out a lot. And keep those comments coming just like Tafun's doing. and picks because we like to see that, and it helps us out also with the algorithms.
Yeah, that's it. Tafam went to the Evelyn School of Speed Typing. So when the show is over, if you head over to horseracingtoday.net, there will be a link in the description. There'll be a recap of our show that includes all of our comments, a replay of the show. You'll see right here. This is from yesterday's racing at Churchill Downs. So you can take a look at what our thoughts are there. And then here's a replay of the video. When you go to the video, let's put this out on the screen right now. So let's take it like this. Watch on YouTube. All right, so we'll go to YouTube and watch it on YouTube. Terry's talked about that share button. Right here is the share button. You can click on that. Boom, copy it, paste that, put it in your social sites. And over here, if you go to where it says more in the description, right there, voila, you can see we'll timestamp every race. So you can come back when the show's over and watch all the races at your leisure. I hear myself talking from the video yesterday, confusing the hell out of me. Not hard to do. All right, Terry, let's try to get a little less confused and work on race number 5.
Okay. In race number 5, we're going to stay at a mile and 16th on the turf. $90,000 purse is for maidens, first fillies, 2-year-olds.
Yeah, those maiden special weight for the race of death. This is what everybody wants. The race that ends one pick 4 and starts the other pick 4, and it's all 2-year-olds at a mile and a 16th on the turf. Just wonderful, wouldn't you say, Terry?
Yeah, it's hard to figure those out.
Yeah, I think the easiest thing to do is use the 3-letter word ALL when you bet. But in any case, if you don't have that sort of budget, stalkers do great. 15% win wire to wire. There is a strong rail bonus. So Olats could really get an edge because when we had on Jose Ortiz, you see over here the track, he told us this little shoot, the key to winning this race is getting good position. The one horse should get good position. After that, Terry, 2 and 3 play fair. Anything from 4 and out, they're discounted. A similar discount. They have to work harder, but it's not impossible to win from out there. So in race number 5, Terry, who has the best chance to get to that turn first?
Well, most of them show speed, but that 6 shows the most speed of all. So I think if it gets a clean break and the jockey makes the good decision, it should give that quarter pole first. The 2 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 8 to 1. The 8 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 5 to 1. And the 12's overlay is 2 to 1 to 20 to 1. Really nice. The 12, 8, 7, and 2 show par plus numbers. And all but the 1, 5, and 8 show C zones, and that 7 has a nice 36% on the Q30.
Yeah, the 1 horse and the 5 horse though here, I think we're going to see in just a couple of seconds. Those 2 are first-time starters, if I remember. Yes, indeed, they are. So if we take a look at that, you'll see that this race, 4, 10, 11, 12, not within 5 lengths of the leader. The 1 and 5, well, they're making the first go of it. Everybody else that has raced, that's been competitive at the end, 6 and 8 want to be out front, 7 and 2, middle and back. A lot of horses making their first start, second start, whatever. So the data's kind of spotty at this point. On a summer day, so far has shown the most interest early. That one should be out on the lead. The 8 horse, maybe not, so could get discouraged. The late speed belongs to the 2 horse, A Kiss the Cat, and then Pioneus. They're a little bit faster than the rest at the end. And your top total pace horse is that 2 horse. Along with the 12 and 7, these 4 of the experienced horses might offer the most. No idea what these 3 will bring to the table today, Terry, but I know you'll bring your picks to the table.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with that first-time starter, the 1 Olats. She's a first-time starter, as I said, whose breeding suggests she would like the grass. Rail posts win at a 24% clip, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I'm going with the 2 as my second choice. Ran second versus similar only start, losing only by a neck. And she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 7, Good Long Try. Third choice, ran second versus similar in last race. Best turf speed is fast among today's starters. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. And then I'm going to go with 8. Chelsea's Choice as my long shot. She finished third versus similar in her last start. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play the second and last pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 7, and 8 with the 1, 3, 4, 6. I'm going to go with the 9, 11, and I'm going to finish up with a 3, 6, 7. That's a $48 ticket.
Yeah, I felt like this series, Terry, you could put a bunch of different horses in a bunch of different spots. I couldn't settle on a race where I only wanted two. So I just said the hell with it. I'm going to go 3x3x3x3. Hopefully, handicapping is strong enough to find a winner in the front three. I do think that will be somewhat challenging. I'm going to go with the two horses, my top pick. Acoustic Cap, if this one does improve at all in its second career start, should be more than enough to move up in its debut, finish second. So that's our Christopher Parmalu angle, Horse Racer X on Twitter. Says, hey, horses that finish second in the maiden race, the race before, that's his favorite win. Handicapping angle says he wins the most money at it. So why not? All odds, as you mentioned, Terry, is that first-time starter. Gets 2.5 of my three-star system. I would like to see better workouts. The training wins at a good rate in debuts. The breeding is there, but the workouts were a little bit sluggish. So that was my concern there, but that rail maybe helps overcome. Good long cry, maybe what everybody will have after playing our picks today, Terry. It is the lone horse here with a par race in it. Irad going to get on it today, so you know that's a good sign. 4 seconds in a row. I mean, maybe one of those horses that just hangs late, a wallpaper horse, but does have 2 good races, 2 workouts between its last race. And then finally, I'm going to go with a little bit of a long shot here, the 12, Pioneus. That is our simulation favorite. It's a very difficult call for me over the 8 horse, Chelsea's Choice, your long shot in there, Terry. But I just feel like there's a little bit more upside in the second career start. And, of course, probably going to get a little bit higher odds to boot. Well, we move on from those 2-year-olds to hopefully something a bit more predictable in race 6, Terry.
Yep. We're gonna go to a mile claiming race, $16,000 claiming price. It's a purse of $40,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. That's it.
Yeah, pretty basic stuff right there. Again, there's your 1-turn mile, I think, for the 3rd time today. As we talked about 2 times before, early speed, yes, indeed, is the way to win. 31% of the time, it is in gate-to-wire fashion. Really no advantages from a post position, although post 2 and 3 and 8 and out, they do have to dig in a little bit more than the rest, but they can. The best horse should probably still win, Mr. Terry. And if you're looking for the best one at the start of the race, that would be who?
Number 3 shows the most speed, although they all have some kind of speed in there. And then the 1 has an overlay 5-1 to 8-1. The 3 has an overlay from about 6-5 to 4-1. All but the 4 and 9 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
And our race shape for the 6th race tells us that, well, really nobody wants to pilot. Got a couple co-pilots back here. These horses with some versatility, they can move all around, 4-5. So that maybe a blob comes out of the gates today. Getting to the front here could be really advantageous. It does look like Montebello and Legal Deal, along with Mo Rewards, they're all pretty similar in here. These top 5, the inside horses should have the edge. So it looks like the 3 horse is probably your pace setter. When the race comes to a close, not only is the 3 horse a good chance to be the pace setter, but has as much late speed as anybody else. In fact, it and the 7, about a length and a half more late speed than the rest. That means the 3 horse should be at the top of our total pace chart. It is 5 points better than Grooven, who's 7 points better than Legal Deal. Hell, maybe this race, Terry, is a nice 3-7 exacta box and move on.
It might be, although I like the 4 in this race, Mason Mania. Won his last race at the Aqueduct, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then the 6 Legal Deal. Second choice, he has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 23% of the races in the first race after claiming horse. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning jockey as well. Then the 3 is Montebello, is my 3rd choice, finished 3rd versus similar in his last start as a favorite, but the trainer wins 23% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And he switches to a high percentage winning jockey, has a nice 4th furlong workout on November 11th. Mo Rewards, the 1, is my long shot. He has won 2 races out of the last 3 starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm actually out of money, so I can make no other bets.
I'm going to start this race with the 3, Montebello. It's going to be your pace setter. Also has that top total pace, 5 points clear. It's our simulation favorite, and you know who's riding, Terry?
Probably no, I don't. Or
Irad. So you know if Irad has the lead, you can't pass him late. It's illegal, and then he can run you over and still not get DQ'd. So we love that.
Yeah.
Guruvan, the 7 horse, lowest level in its last 10 starts. Very consistent performer. Where really its average race is good enough to win, probably more often than not. And that's why it has that super high par plus score. Legal Deal. If you know anything about New York racing, Linda Rice claims, you buy. And then she claims and drops. She wins 38% of the time. That's a hell of an angle. Finally, Mo Rewards did run the top last race. Speed Figures was 4 points better than anybody else's. I discount that a little bit because I'm not the biggest fan of horses that come from Parks to New York and move up in class. But it's Jamie Ness, so you know his horse will be ready. And the horse has hit the board in 3 out of 6 at Aqueduct. So it has fared well despite the track and claim rise. 20 to win, 10 to place on the 3, $1 trifecta box. The 1, the 3, the 6, and the 7. Let's go, Irad. Block everybody at the end of the race. Thank you.
Okay.
Race number 2. If his reps are watching, and we'll probably hear from them. Right? They'll never come on your show. I mean, I'll just respond. He never did before. So he's a nice guy, though. Sean's met him a couple of times. And speaking of Sean, if you head over to our Facebook page at Horse Race the number 2 Day, or our Twitter, you'll find that under the same handle. Only one that's different is the YouTube channel at Horse Racing Radar TV. No matter where you're watching, kindly hit the subscribe button. If you're on Twitter right now, grab your mouse, click the retweet button. Just like that, you'll help the show a lot. If you're watching on YouTube, again, grab your mouse, hit that like button and the subscribe button. Just like that, you'll help boost our algorithmic scores. That's if you're watching anywhere else, of course, follow us there too and tell your friends about us, especially if they like to win money at the track.
Yeah.
Race 2 about to get started. Indeed. On cue, they're out the gate and running, Terry. Right now, it looks like the 6 horse. La Vita Sofia is the one with the 5 horse right now. Eggmatic, the one that we said would get to the lead, has absolutely done just that, gotten to the lead. It's done so kind of easily. The 1 horse is the one in second right now, giving chase. Bobby Jean at 10 to 1. That was the 5 to 2 simulated odds type. So nice little overlay right there. 5 horse getting off to about a 2-length lead over everybody else as they're about to head into the turn. And let's see how the quick the fractions are. Yeah, 23.5 seconds might be a touch fast, Mr. Terry, I would think. So they're heading into the turn now with the 5 horse continuing to hold the lead. The 1 horse has moved off the rail onto the tail. The 6 horse right now is the one that's making some engagement. The 3 and the 5 and the 1 really haven't been asked to run just yet. So it's going to be interesting to see which jockey asks their horse to go first. Well, the 5 horse still a pretty tight hold on that guy as they come around the corner. You just kind of come off the rail a little bit, opening up some space for your 3 horse there, Terry, who is coming. 5 horse has been asked to go. The 3 horse is trying to come wide, but there's a Buffalo Girl on the outside, Terry. Here comes the 7 and the 3. It's going to be a battle to the finish line. It looks like it's going to be maybe the 3 horse, Terry. I don't know. You might get a pretty good break there on that. Who's going to win this race? I think your 3 horse, Terry, gets in there. Elliptic, that one went off at 4 to 1. I didn't have it in my pick 4. You did. That one could be your winner. You have the exacta box. I think it's going to be 3-7 for sure. So you have your exacta as well. So you get to move on. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So our next, what's happening? Ashish Jadhav, 3, no fix. Yes, the 3 horse did come home your winner there. I don't think it was fixed. What do we got? Race 7?
Yep.
All right. So in the 7th spot, we're gonna find out what they're doing now, Terry.
6 furlongs, outer turf, allowance race, $92,000 purse. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won $20,000 other than a maiden, claiming starter, or state bred allowance, or which have never won 2 races.
Yes, at 6 furlongs on that outer turf. Got to be fast when the gates open because, Terry, you'll find a whole bunch of them. 36% of them, they win the race to the quarter-mile marker. They are the ones that gets the keys to the winner's circle. There is a rail bonus for Georgie Spirit. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, they're discounted the most. 8 and out are discounted, just not as badly as 4 through 7. Speed does matter in the 7th race, Terry. tell us which one it has. Oops, I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Not what I want to do. Let's press the right one so we find out who in race 7 has the most gas.
Oh, see there, the speed's all the way across the board. So you just don't know who's going to get there. It's really anyone's guess. At least for my part, it is. So I like the three as overlays. It's going to be 17-1 to 30-1. And the 10 has an overlay from about 7-2 to 6-1. All but the 6 show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones. And the 11 has a nice 30% Q30.
Yeah, so look out for that 11 if it can get forward. Looks like it's got a good shot to be there. Our Chirp handicapping says the 11 doesn't need the lead. It is an EP type, so it can pilot or it can co-pilot. It can be patient. Those lone EP types or the lone 6 here, those what I call Sesame Street horses, one like these is unlike the other, always very dangerous. At the early speed, reflexivity does look like it's about a length faster than everybody else, but all of the other similar type speed is to the inside. Has to be careful that it doesn't get caught wide going through the turns. Late speed, Collaboration by any other name. Well, look at this, very tight on the late speed here, Terry. Our top total pace horse is the 11. Reflexivity, a little bit better than Marco T or Georgie Spirit. Striker has Dial. These 4, again, usually where your winner's found. Seems like Terry's picks are usually where the winner's found. So who do you think gets the job done here?
I like the 11 reflexivity. She's won 2 races out of 3 starts at Aqueduct, so likes the track. Her best turf speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the 9 Marco T, ran second in her last start as a favorite, but the high percentage winning trainer wins 26% of the races when bringing this beaten favorites back again. And she has the highest speed favorite today's distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 8 Striker has Dial, is finished in the money in 4 races out of 6 career starts, winning 1 of the races, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer as well. Like the 6 is my long shot, won her last race at Aqueduct and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey.
So right now there is an objection. I don't know. I think the objection's on the 3 because he did come way up the track. It's New York. I don't think they're going to drop that horse unless they feel like the bump was enough to impede the 7's chances to go by. I think it'd be, I think 30, 70, they don't change it. Or 70% they don't change it. 30% they do. All right. It depends on who's riding the 7. If Irad's riding the 7, it's going to be your winner. Anyway, for me, I like the, well, you just went through the early speed or you went through your picks, right?
Yeah, I went through the picks.
I like the 11 horse too. Reflexivity should be forward. Did show a lot better middle of the race pace last time out. Fractions were sharper too. Number 9, Marco T, much faster fractions last out. Another one with improved pace at the end of the race. A lot of times we see those horses that improve from the middle to the end carry that momentum to the next start. Collaboration, the 4 horse, Irad, dropping from a non-graded stakes race where she finished second. And then Lisa's Vision, I think this one's going to pop in the second start after layoff. At least that's what its resume said so far. No bets for me, Terry, as we move off to race number 8. Again, Foreign Friday's coming tomorrow. I'm not quite sure when we'll get started or where we're going to do our work, but we'll let you know. And the best place to find out, Terry, would be where?
Well, you need to subscribe to YouTube, hit that bell. And if you hit the bell, you'll be told about when the next program's coming up. And then go copy the link at the bottom and share with all your friends, relatives, and neighbors. That way you'll end up having some good vibes from your people you know, because they'll come and see us and like what they see. And then go to our social sites at Horse Race at number 2 day. They're going on the bottom there, and give us a thumbs up and a like. That way it'll help us out quite a bit. And keep those comments coming, and also the picks. We really like seeing them.
Yes, indeed. We appreciate that. Speaking of picks, Christopher Stratton says Aqueduct Race 3, put together the 6 and the 7 in your exacta box in the upcoming race. And if you have picks, thoughts, suggestions, we entertain them. We love them. It helps us move the show along. And it's also helped us kind of put together some of the stuff you see up on the screen in the order in which we present it. The last race for you and me this week, Terry, is only race number 8. light card today at Aqueduct. Looks also like light conditions to qualify.
Yeah, that's right. As you can see there, it's a pretty wide open race again. As the any.
Well, we're talking about the
Oh,
conditions.
I'm sorry, I didn't go through that, did I?
Uh-uh.
It's 7 furlongs, a claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, $28,000 purse, and it's for let's see, it's 3-year-olds, and that's about it. I guess 3-year-olds and upward. Yeah, non-winners of 2 races in 2024 allowed 2 pounds. That's about it.
Yeah, that's it. So pretty simple, basic, straightforward stuff. And it's kind of straightforward how you win the profile of a winner as well. Because if you look at 7 furlongs on Aqueduct's main track, what you're going to find out is that horses that have early speed win again. 3 out of 10 times they win on the lead. Post positions, the more inside you are, the better off you are. So show me some horses, Terry, in our simulations that have a lot of early speed.
Well, as you can see, they all show some kind of speed, and a lot of them are really close in percentages. So it's the second race in a row that it's anyone's guess. The 3 has an overlay from 5-2 to 3-1. 4 has an overlay from 5-1 to 8-1. The 10 has an overlay from 7-2 to 4-1. 3, 10, 4, and 7 show the only par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones, especially the 1 and the 6.
Yes, 80% for Bronx Bomber and 80% for Winter's Ghost. All right. Well, it looks like it's an open race again. Oh, look at all these horses that want to be middle forward. The 4 and 10 that want to be, they're going to really be pressing. The 4 and 10, they don't need the lead, so they can let these group right here go out and do all that work, sit off the pace, and hope that they go too fast. If they all do, the 5 and 8, boy, those 2 lone closers are going to be licking their chops if they see some really fast fractions. The 2-horse Prince of Joy, well, maybe that one you can X out of your selections, not within 5 lengths of the winner. The finish line in its most recent races, Honorary Degree. Look at that, Terry. It's a closer with the most early speed. So there's just going to be a lot of flying dirt when the gates open. They're going to be battling for that front. That means the horse with the most late speed probably going to be well positioned. That's High Heat, a lot of late speed, followed by Bronx Bomber. Your top total pace horse is High Heat, Prince James, Nolo Contesto, Honorary Degree. But if you look at it, Terry, I mean, even down to here, a lot of horses with a good shot according to pace if they get a good trip. Wide open affair. Looks like you like that 3-horse High Heat.
I do. He finished 3rd versus Simmer in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and Wayne Potts and the high percentage winning jockey Jose Ortiz. The number 6, Winner's Ghost, second choice, drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 26% of the races when taking a horse down 2+ classes, and a high percentage winning jockey. The 7's my 3rd choice, drops in class today, his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer as well. And then the 10, Classic Marks, my long shot, ran 2nd versus Similar in his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets as I'm out of money.
So, yeah, I have the 10-horse Classic Mark. You're a long shot. Where you leave off, that's where I'll begin. Going to catch a little bit of a weight break after running the top last race speed figure. Just 3 points, the bare minimum, better than anybody else. Figured that was good enough in an open race to put it at top. High Heat. There's that man again, Irad Ortiz, on a very consistent performer, and I believe it is our simulation favorite. Prince James, the 4-horse, that one, last win, came after the horse put some rest and relaxation in on the sidelines. Well, coming back to the track today after some rest and relaxation. See if it can follow that same pattern. Then finally, the last pick for this week is Winter's Ghost, is a class dropper and has a bullet workout between races. So maybe the lights, Terry, are about to come back on. Here are full picks for today. The winner in the first race, I think it was number 3, right? Yes, indeed. And then the 7. So Terry the 3. So it looks like just bet the 3s today, folks, right? They're going to win every race. Just forget anything else and bet 3 all day, Mr. Terry, right?
Yeah.
You know what else you can bet is Mahoning Valley. You can see there are some free picks available at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description down below. Kindly use that so they know where it is that you are coming from. We'd appreciate that. And then in race number 1, it looks like the 4-horse indeed did win Incessant. It was a best bet in there, Mr. Terry. The 1-horse finished second, Constitutionalist. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And then the 2-horse, Snell Flicka. That one finished third.
All right.
You know who finished fourth?
The 7.
The 7. How about that?
Ice
Cold,
everything.
Exacta, Trifecta, and Superfecta.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll take that all day, every single day. And you can get the rest of the picks today, as race 2 is about to get cracking, in the link below. Again, when the show's over, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. We will post our picks along with the replay of the show and all of our comments. You'll see it right there. When you're there, please hit on that HRT gear. I'm sporting the red number 1 hat. Terry's also sporting some Horse Racing Today gear, the red double 1 hat, or more commonly known as 11. If you want to get those hats or anything else, just click on that link. You'll see all of the roster of merchandise available right here. Kindly support the show by doing that. You can also support the show one last time, Terry, by doing what?
Go ahead and subscribe to YouTube. There's no cost to that, and they're not going to bug you. So it's nothing, no big deal. And go ahead and hit that bell so that you can know about all the different programs we have coming up. And then copy the link, share it with everybody you know, so they can come and check us out. Go to our, social sites such as Facebook, TikTok, X, Instagram, and Threads at Horse Race the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and that way it'll help us out with algorithms. And then keep giving us these picks and these comments, because we really enjoy getting them, and they also help us out.
Yeah, interactivity is very helpful. And again, just a few minutes, we will timestamp every race in the description on YouTube, so you can come back and watch why Terry likes his best bets of the day, and also the picks that we've made when we spend our $100 Benny in the Bets budgets. All right, Terry, well, that wraps up another fantastic week with the best co-host in all of the land, from here to Turkey. So any final thoughts from you before we part?
Yeah, just stay safe. Have a great rest of the day. And if you're anything you're doing in life, I hope you're lucky and succeed. See you tomorrow or Monday.
For Parks, indeed. We'll see you Monday for Parks. Well, until we get back together again, whether you join us tomorrow for 4 and Friday, again, not quite sure when and where it'll be, but that will be on all of our social sites as soon as we have a sense of what we're going to do. Until we get back together again, folks, we certainly hope that whatever you're chasing, your dreams, your potential partner, whatever it may be, that all of them have God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do ends up in the
winner circle.
Indeed. Thanks again for joining us. Make it a blessed, terrific Terry Thursday.